Sirius XM Hits 1 4th of July Weekend Countdown with Panic at the Disco.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. Now, before we get into this week's Top 45, let's check out last week's Top 5 songs. At number 5, we got Marshmello and Anne-Marie with Friends. Number 4 was Taylor Swift with Delicate. Number 3 was Imagine Dragons with Whatever It Takes. Love you, Dan Reynolds. You're the best. Number 2 was Zedd, Maren Morris, and Gray with The Middle. Now, before we start this week's Top 45, let's flash back to last week's number 1 song, decided by you at SiriusXM.com/Hits1. It's my band, Panic at the Disco with Say Amen Saturday night on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Welcome back. It's Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, guest hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. The idea of writing Havana came to Camila Cabello when she was eating sushi. That's kind of dope. I mean, it's the times that you don't think you're going to get inspiration, that you get inspired. You could be having sushi, you could be taking a shower, mowing the lawn. I mean, there's so many different things. Like, all the time, I'll be hanging out with my dogs, be playing a video game, and inspiration hits, I gotta run to the studio, I'll be gone for 5 hours. I definitely relate to that. Anyway, at number 45, here's Camila Cabello with Havana on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Welcome back. I am Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, your guest host this week on the Weekend Countdown. Hailee Steinfeld had her first kiss on a movie set when she was 12 years old. What's more epic than having your first kiss on a movie set for a movie you're in? I mean, how many people can say that? Not a lot. That's pretty cool. My first kiss was not as cool. I remember I was like 7 years old, and we were babysitting a friend of ours, Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. And I remember just watching movies and being like, oh, that's really sweet. I like her. I'm going to try to kiss her. So I kissed her, and my mom was in the grocery store. She came back to the van. We were just sitting with the door open in the parking lot. So ghetto. And she came back and saw me kissing Brittany, and she was like, we don't do that, and I got shamed. I got shamed for it, you guys. It was a totally innocent 7-year-old kiss. I mean, come on. Anyway, sorry, Brittany. Got you in trouble, too. At number 43, here's Hailee Steinfeld, Alesso, Florida Georgia Line, and Watt with Let Me Go on the Weekend Countdown. Welcome back, you gorgeous creatures. I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and I'm in control of the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Taylor Swift grew up in Pennsylvania, where her father owned a Christmas tree farm. That's so dope. I guess we both have interesting stories. I grew up in Las Vegas. To a lot of people, that seems like a weird place to grow up, which I guess it kind of is. Everything's accessible. Everything's 5 minutes away from you. You've got all the debauchery. But as a kid, you don't really think about that, Weekends were pretty much the same. You do, soccer practice. You had school during the week. Constantly getting grounded for doing dumb stuff in the yard. I mean, it felt pretty normal. And until I became a teenager, then I realized how accessible everything was, and it kind of came into my own. I'm so glad I grew up in Vegas. What a beautiful place. New on the countdown at number 40, here's Sugarland and Taylor Swift with Babe on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown.
Hits 1 Weekend Countdown with Panic at the Disco.
Welcome back, you gorgeous creatures. I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and I'm in control of the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. The Rex consider some of their biggest musical influences to be bands Say Anything and Brand New. I can relate to that. I love both those bands. There's, I have a lot of influences as well that maybe people wouldn't assume I do. Frank Sinatra, I've got him tattooed on my left forearm. It's hard to it's kind of ineffable. I can't describe exactly my admiration for Frank Sinatra. It's more of an obsession. As a kid, hearing his voice, I just thought, that's the coolest voice. That's a man. That's like the most pure singing crooner voice. It just caught my ear at an early age, and then I grew in appreciation for it as time went on. So it's really just, he's a beautiful man. He stood for the right things. He seemed like, he did it his way, which kind of mean I kind of back that, man. I kind of back it, so yeah, I love Frank Sinatra. Anyway, move to the countdown at number 38. Here's the Rex with James Dean on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown.
Sirius XM 4th of July Weekend Countdown with Panic at the Disco.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. Growing up, Imagine Dragons lead singer Dan Reynolds was in the Boy Scouts and was able to make it to the rank of Eagle Scout. See, I knew that he was a Boy Scout because we went to church together. I too was in Boy Scouts. I stopped at a Weeblo. I was basically like 12 years old, and Weeblo. That was the name of the thing. How great is that? Anyway, Boy Scouts was hilarious. I didn't get very many merit badges because I was not very interested in the Boy Scouts. Anyway, I love you, Dan Reynolds. You're the best. At number 36, here's Imagine Dragons with Thunder. Hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. All right, so this is a Panic at the Disco song called High Hopes. This is a new one. All right, this is our newest song that we've got out. I wrote this one about my childhood, really. When I was a kid, I used to make cardboard cutouts of guitars, put yarn through it, stand in front of the mirror, and just act like a rock star, act like I was on stage performing for people. It was just so fun. In my mind, I could see myself on stage under all the lights, just shining for everyone to see. And then as I got older, I just got more of an appreciation for it. I got to romanticize the memories, and now I'm so fortunate, I'm so grateful to be where I'm at. It's just kind of amazing. I can't
the Disco.
Welcome back. I am Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, your guest host this week on the Weekend Countdown. 5 Seconds of Summer released their third studio album, Youngblood, last week. Huge congrats to those guys. Absolutely. I met those guys a handful of times. Got to know them pretty well. They are sweethearts, honestly. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. And the Australian accent doesn't hurt as well. I love that accent. It's honestly my favorite thing in the world. Luke, Ashton, you guys are just so sweet. I'm really rooting for you. You guys are the best. You know, when I was writing my album, Pray for the Wicked, it was just fun. I didn't want it to feel like work, so I can relate to that young blood mentality. You know, it's just, I want to keep it feeling, vibrant and young. I want to make sure that it doesn't feel like work. When you start working smart rather than hard, I think, you found a good place. Anyway, at number 32, here's 5 Seconds of Summer, Want You Back on the Hits One Weekend Countdown.
Weekend Countdown with Panic at the Disco.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. When Lauv isn't in the studio making music, you can usually catch him at a local coffee shop or having a margarita somewhere. I back that. That sounds like me. That's kind of what I do outside of working in the studio. It's either video games, I'm usually, drinking a beer. I've usually got a beer in hand. I could do a margarita. That sounds pretty good. What do you call it? Rita, a Greta, a Marg? Marg sounds like my mom says Marg. Okay, anyway, here's Lauv with I Like Me Better. To be honest. From Panic at the Disco, guest hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. Meghan Trainor says that one of her favorite shows is Saved by the Bell. That's so dope. That is so great. What a nostalgic piece, Listen, Mark Paul Gosselaar, right? Zach Morris. I had such a crush on him and Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Kelly Kapowski. Gorgeous, gorgeous people. You couldn't have picked more beautiful people to be in such a funny show in the 90s. That definitely takes you back. One of my favorite shows is The Office, and I just kind of have that in the background as I'm making breakfast throughout the day. That and Friends. I'm still waiting for them to put Living Single on Netflix. Come on, Netflix, get with it. Put Living Single up there. It was a good show. Anyway, new to the countdown at number 28, here's Meghan Trainor with Let You Be Right on the Hits One Weekend Countdown.
With Panic at the Disco.
Welcome back. I am Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, your guest host this week on the Weekend Countdown. Ozzy is obsessed with space, which was the inspiration to naming his album Cosmic. In another life, he'd probably be an astronaut. I don't doubt that. He seems like a smart guy. I kind of back that. I'm also obsessed with space and time travel and quantum theory and multiverse and different timelines. If you guys have never seen Cosmos, Carl Sagan was this genius, and he, had this whole special that talked about that stuff in the 70s. They redid it not too long ago with Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was also just a genius. Neil deGrasse Tyson also said something about space and time and all this stuff that kind of makes me not sleep at night. He said, we don't know what we don't know. And that is so mind-blowing. Oh, Bozzy, help me out here, man. Just listen, down 4 spots to number 25. Here's Bozzy with Mine on the Hits One Weekend Countdown. Back, you gorgeous creatures. I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and I'm in control of the Hits One Weekend Countdown. Liam Payne loves dogs and has a bunch of his own. I back that. The dream is to have a ranch somewhere in a field and just own 100+ dogs and just let them run free and play, chasing wildlife and just having the time of their lives. Me and my wife Sarah have 2 dogs, a Jack Russell named Bogart and a Boston Terrier named Penny Lane. They're both little maniacs, 9 and 10 years old. They act like they're 9 and 10 months old, so it's really fun. I love dogs so much. I back it, Liam Payne, you're a beautiful man. Down 8 spots to number 23, here's Liam Payne with Familiar on the Weekend Panic at the Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. Adam Levine has a lot of tattoos, and some of his favorites are his mother's name and his dog's paw print. That's awesome. If you're going to do something, right, it's got to be personal to you. And what's more personal than that? Your mother's name, dog's paw print, those are both adorable. Plus, look at the canvas you're working with. You got Adam Levine. He's a beautiful man. I had the opportunity to meet him at The Voice. We got to perform at The Voice. What a nice person. I was not expecting that, honestly. I didn't know he was going to come up and say hi and be so personable. So, Adam, if you're listening, I love you. You're just a sweet human being. Keep doing what you're doing. I back it. And also, let's go get matching tattoos. At number 20, here's Maroon 5 with Wait on the Hits One Weekend Countdown.
July Weekend Countdown with Panic at the Disco.
Welcome back. It's Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, guest hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. Bibi Rex's real name is actually Bleta, which means bumblebee in Albanian. Bibi is her nickname. I love that. A lot of people refer to me as Bibo, which is so hilarious. I think they just took the first initial and the first 2 letters of my middle name, which is Boyd, which is my dad's name. So Bibo, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. But as a kid, Bubba Sub was my nickname. My mom used to call me that. Brenner Bub, Bubba. Yeah, it was mostly like that. I was a pudgy kid. So it was anything that made me sound pudgier as a kid. It was just always a cute nickname. Bubba, you know what I mean? What's more bubbly than that? I love it. And I love all the nicknames that my fans give me, including Forehead. That's fun. Okay, holding at number 18, here's Bibi Rexa and Florida Georgia Line with Meant to Be on the Hits One Weekend Countdown.
Live Hits One Weekend Countdown. with Panic at the Disco.
Welcome back. I am Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, your guest host this week on the Weekend Countdown. 5 Seconds of Summer are very up on meme culture and love to post them on their social accounts. I know this because I follow some of them, and they are hilarious. I've mentioned my love for memes as well in the past. I'm pretty sure that I've taken, the responsibility for being Dat Boy. What up? What up is Dat Boy? Yeah, I think I like that. I do look like a frog on a unicycle sometimes, so it makes sense. But yeah, I'm Dat Boy. If you guys don't know what that is, check me out. Look it up. Up 4 spots to number 16. It's 5 Seconds of Summer with Youngblood on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and I'm in control of the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Charlie Puth was once a resident of Sesame Street. He did dress up as Big Bird for Halloween when he was around 4 years old. That's so dope. I back that. That's really funny. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, too. Isn't that just fun? I love hearing the background stuff about artists, especially something like that. What a cool connection to have. One of my favorite Halloween costumes was I was Ermac from Mortal Kombat, and no one knew who that was, right? Because it was like Mortal Kombat 3. It was such a deep cut. But I went around, and like by the 8th house I hit, finally, a guy was like, "You supposed to be Ermac?" And I was like, yeah! I was probably 8 years old. What a time to be alive. Anyway, down 2 spots to number 14. Here's Charlie Puth and Kehlani with Done For Me on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown.
Go.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. Halsey used to come and see my band, Panic at the Disco, play back when she was 14, and now we're friends. She is such a sweet person. I was just a fan of hers, to be honest, and then I found out that she had been to a bunch of Panic shows. She also told me a story about how she lost a wristband, and that Zach had found her another wristband and got it for her. I love hearing that stuff, always trying to look out for the fans. And Halsey, just knowing that, I just love you one deeper. You know what I mean? You're just the best kind of person. Thanks again for inviting me to Coachella with you. That was such a sweet move. I hope I can return the favor someday. Anyway, you're the best. Up 2 spots at number 11. Here's Halsey with Alone on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Panic at the Disco, guest hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. Besides music, one of Dua Lipa's talents is spelling. Oh, yeah, I love that. That just already is like a satisfying knowledge to have. And on top of the fact that her voice is incredible and she's gorgeous. I mean, what else? That's just right there. I mean, she wins. You know what I mean? And the spelling, I kind of like that. I mean, a secret talent. I don't know if I have any real secret talents. I can do this with my tongue. I kind of make the metronome noise. That's, if you guys want to know what I hear all the time on stage, it's my voice and this. See, that was annoying for 2 seconds. I have to do it for 2 hours sometimes. Anyway, up 6 spots to number 9. Here's Dua Lipa with IDGAF on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. The Disco, your guest host this week on the Weekend Countdown. Besides making music, Marshmello moonlights as a YouTube chef. He uploads amazing cooking tutorials to his YouTube channel. That's so awesome. I am a terrible chef. The one thing I do really well, actually, I will give myself credit, humble brag, I make breakfast really well. So breakfast is kind of my go-to. I'm the breakfast guy, my wife is the dinner person, so we just kind of trade that off. The best thing I can make is a breakfast sandwich, Try me. Ask me about it sometime. Anyway, here's Marshmello and Anne-Marie with Friends on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Disco, and these are the biggest songs in North America, according to you, on the Weekend Countdown. Taylor Swift considers Selena Gomez to be one of her best friends, and I ship it, and I stan it, and I see these pictures, and I love it so much because they're both beautiful human beings, all right? Listen, I too have a couple, squad goals, and recently in the past, 5 years, I've created a bromance with Dylan Francis. Now, we've become very, very good friends, and in fact, he helped me produce a song on my album called Hey Look Ma, I Made It. Now, that one is so fun. We just put a video out for it a week or 2 ago, and it's a puppet. It's a puppet version of me. So if that sounds interesting to you, trust me, you need to see this video. It gets a little hot and heavy. Anyway, up 2 spots to number 2. Here's Taylor Swift with Delicate on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. Welcome back. It's Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, guest hosting for Spider Harrison on the Weekend Countdown. What an honor. It's finally time, you guys. This is the biggest song in North America, decided by you, the What You Want crew, at SiriusXM.com/hits1. This has been so fun. I'm so glad you guys have me here. I don't know why you keep asking me back. Out of the kindness of your hearts, maybe. Anyway, I've fallen in love with you all so much. Thanks for letting me do this. My album is out now. It's called Pray for the Wicked. I'm doing a shameless plug. That's right. No shame in it. And also, we've got a tour coming up starting July 11th all the way through August 18th. Check us out in a city near you. Sorry if it's sold out. Boom. I love it, baby. Listen, we got another leg coming up in January and February if you missed this one. So I hope to see you guys at some point. I love you. I appreciate you. And for the 4th week in a row, at number 1, here is my band, Panic at the Disco, with Say Amen Saturday night on the Hits 1 Weekend Countdown. I love you, baby! You're traveling in